Good afternoon. This is Robert Hunt, Superintendent of Chagrin Falls Schools, and I am with another fine Chagrin Falls High School student, Maddie Scott, who is in 11th grade. Maddie, how are you today?
I'm good.
How are things going in the kind of the virtual world for you?
They're really good. I kind of just have been spending more time with my family, focusing on my pets and just things that I can help to do around the house.
Yeah, good. Well, we're going to talk about, um, how it's going virtual learning and all that here in a little bit. But before I do that, it's a big week for us. It's Teacher Appreciation Week, Staff Appreciation Week. So we're doing some things, this week to recognize people that are making, a difference in our organization. And I thought, what would be the best place to hear if I was a teacher sitting at home? Who would I want to hear from? And it would be students, it would be young people like yourself. So I appreciate you very much taking the time to sit down and chat a little bit today. So before I get maybe, I think I asked you to give me two or three examples, but you give me specific people that really have made a difference for you, why don't you just talk in general about, what types of things or characteristics do teachers that have made an impact on you have in common? Because I'm sure that it was tough to narrow down a list to two or three, right? So
Mhm.
there had to be more. And what are the things they share in common that really impact you as a young person, separate them and make them great teachers?
One thing that I've noticed just with all my teachers is they're always willing to give up some of their time to just help me, even if it's during their lunch period or during a different period. They're always willing to just give up their time and help me if I have a problem or if I just want to chat with them a little bit. And all of them always want to make a personal connection with me, which helps me a lot with my learning just because I'm able to feel very comfortable going to them to ask them questions and just being comfortable in the classroom.
Okay. So you have been in Chagrin your entire academic career, right?
Well, one year I went to Hawken, but I
Okay.
like to consider I've been here my whole time. Yeah.
Well, we'll give you the 1 year break.
Yeah, yeah.
So I asked you to come up with three teachers or two teachers. Why don't you tell us who the first teacher you chose to recognize today during Teacher Appreciation Week, and tell me why you chose that person.
So the first teacher I chose was Mrs. Ashkettle, and the reason I chose her is because her honors English 9 class was my first really big honors English class that I've ever been in. And going into it during ninth grade, I was very scared, and she helped me feel really comfortable and just at home and helped me adjust really well to it. And I don't really remember much from my ninth grade year. It kind of went by really fast. And one thing I do remember is just always going into her classroom and her having a smile on and greeting me. And that really left an impact for me.
So her kind of positive attitude that she brings to the table every day really inspired you, kind of beyond content and what you were learning, just that personal piece.
And she always pushed me to go continue growing myself. I know especially during the separate piece trial a lot, I was really, really nervous for that. And she just gave myself so much confidence to just go out and continue pushing myself and working harder each time for each assignment.
All right. So a big shout out to Mrs. Ashkettle and thank her for everything she's done for not only you, but for other students as well. Let's transition and say who's number two on the list. And
Uh,
we didn't rank order them, right? Did we
yeah, no,
rank
no,
them?
no, definitely
Okay.
not running order.
All right.
My second teacher that I chose was Mr. Hassel. Again, he was my geometry teacher, and even since he's not my teacher anymore, I've continued to go to him for help just during any my like free periods. And especially this year, I had 6th period commons, and math lab isn't open during that time. And he gave up a lot of his free time to help me with my math help, and that just really helped me this year in um, uh, pre-calculus, almost forgot my math class, because it's a really challenging course and it's adjustment from my previous math courses. And I was always able to go for him for math help and just to even ask for like challenging problems that I can work on my own time.
So Mr. Hassel apparently very approachable and
Mhm.
willing to put in the extra time to help students.
Very much so.
Yeah, so that certainly makes a special person. So big shout out to Mr. Hassel as well, and thank you for everything you're doing. All right, Maddie, who's going to round us up today? Who's number three?
The last person's Dr. Beach, and I kind of have a special relationship with her, I guess, because I was part of the Alpha group for research this year. So we were at school bright and early at 6:45 in the morning, and that really created something, a very special environment that she helped make. And I appreciate Dr. Beach a lot because she put in so much work with her research kids and all of her students. I had her last year for seminar, and I felt like she was very dedicated to making sure her students crossed the finish line happy and successful. And I know we definitely have a lot of inside jokes as our alpha period, and I think with Dr. Beach's encouragement and her dedication to push me through this research project during quarantine time, it's very, very impactful on me.
So what did you research? What was your topic this year?
My topic was about how female athletes and sorry, my washer's like, can we like pause it so I can,
Sure.
sorry, thank you.
Go ahead. All right, so we solved the washer crisis. Your research topic, women athletes, I got that much.
Yes, so I was really interested in myself being a runner too, about how what you eat provides enough energy for your athletics and throughout the day. And so I decided to investigate whether or not simple, like eating simple carbohydrates versus complex carbohydrates affected an athlete's, specifically female athletes' energy throughout the day. And it turned out pretty well. My hypothesis was supported, saying that eating complex carbohydrates like whole grains, rices, like brown rices, more like not highly processed foods, actually did in fact give female athletes more energy throughout the day.
Awesome. Well, I know you spent a lot of time on that, so tremendous amount of effort on your part. So big shout out to you and to Dr. Beach for getting it across the finish line here. So let's shift gears a little bit. I'd love to know just kind of your thoughts on working kind of in a virtual environment, maybe some of the things that you think are going well and maybe some of the things that, we should think about working on or that you miss about school.
So I believe the online learning is actually going really, really well. I think the teachers have done a really great job of managing the workload for us. I know it has been a little challenging when teachers have different times that the assignments due. For instance, some teachers have it due at 3 p.m., whereas some have it due at 11:59 p.m. So it's a little hard to remember which class is which deadline, but I've been able to manage it pretty well. I know a lot of my teachers have office hours every day, and that's really nice because you can just go on and ask them questions. And I think overall, the online learning thing has been definitely very helpful for me. I know for languages, I know I'm taking Chinese, and it's been a little bit difficult to get the speaking practice and the one-on-one with the teacher, but the teachers, I think, have done an amazing job of giving out work and making sure that assignments are meaningful for us to learn.
So, Maddie, I'm sure, I don't think any of us think this is the best possible environment, right? So tell me about what you miss maybe the most. And, if you had the magic wand to create school next year, would it be just go back to the way it was, Dr. Hunt, or would it be some kind of mixture of things? How would you like that to look going forward?
Well, first of all, I miss just seeing everybody at school and seeing all the smiling faces and my teachers and being able to see them in personally. And I think that's something a lot of other people miss. I think going forward, I don't see any reason why we can't just continue at like a normal school year from the start. It may be nice just in the classrooms if there was a course. For example, I'm in pre-calculus right now, maybe just do like spend a few weeks or a few days going over the materials that we would have gone over during the quarantine time just to get prepared for the upcoming courses. I think just classes that have like prerequisites, that would be really helpful just to make sure that we have a solid base before we go forward. But But I think we would be able to, with the teachers, what they've been doing for us during this time, I think it is very realistic that we could just go forward and start the year off strong.
All right. Maddie, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me today and share some of your experiences and your thoughts. I wish you well. I will echo, your thoughts. We miss you. We miss all of our students. And, whether it's a version of this, going forward or some of it that we take with us and move forward, I don't think anyone wants to continue completely separate from young people, because it's such a part of what we go in education for, and how you grow as a young person. So you're an exceptional young lady. Thank you so much for taking the
Thank
time, and best of
you.
luck. Be safe. Okay.
Thank you. Have a
All right.
nice
Take
day.
care. You too. Bye-bye.